Hi, leaders. Today we're going to be talking about our second pillar of mental toughness, and that is visualization. And I struggled with this one at first because I wasn't able to see how I had been doing it in my past. And so I did a lot of research on this leading up to this, and I think it's really exciting. And I think it's something that I'm going to be using more for myself, and that we can think about getting a lot of benefit from in this. Journey towards being a leader in our lives. And how we started with mental toughness training here in the United States in sports was a study from the Soviet Union in the 70s. And they took over 4,000 athletes and split them up into groups. And one group they had them do 100% physical training. And then the next group, they had them do 70% physical training and 30% mental training. They had a group that did 50-50, and then a group that did 70% mental training and 30% physical training. And that group that did almost all of their training, or the majority of their training in mental training and visualization, did better than any of the other groups. So I think this is really super exciting. And then also I was thinking about how we were talking about our inner voice, and how we have this inner critic that seems like a natural part of who we are, that judges and says things in the negative to us. But then when we go to say things in the positive, sometimes it feels forced or like maybe cheesy. But we do the same thing with visualization, right? We all play out this worst case scenario almost on a daily basis with all kinds of things in our lives, with our finances, with our fitness, with whatever it is, as we play out this worst case scenario. What if this happens? What if that happens? What if this person's sick? What if this person ends up, we think about all these worst case scenario stories, but then visualizing what we want feels forced. So what I want us today to understand is just the importance of this and the potential benefit for us with this. And then tomorrow I want to do like an actual guided visualization with you guys. So today, just realizing and maybe noticing and catching ourselves when we see ourselves doing this worst case scenario. And especially right now with all the wave going on, like how many times do you let yourself go into that worst case scenario mode? What if this, what if that, what if this doesn't end? When is it going to be over? And then how often do you say, what if this turns out amazing? What if, we got a helicopter going up there. You're patient with me. Really cool military helicopters. So this working from home thing, I think it's awesome to leave all this stuff in and not start over, because it's what we're all working with right now, right? We're all working from home. Most of us are working from home, trying to juggle all of this stuff that we have going on, kids pulling on us, sometimes spouses home, whatever's going on in our lives, and we just kind of make it work. So what I want us to do for today is to notice how often we're doing the worst case scenario of visualization, and then how often we are doing the best case scenario of visualization, and just start to just be an observer of that. So when you're feeling your worst, or when you start to feel low, notice that a lot of times it's that we are thinking, when is this ever going to be over? Or this is never going to end, or I'm always going to be this way. And we're doing that worst case scenario. And then how often are you pumped up because you're like, wow, I see how this is going to play out so well. And if you're like me, it's not nearly as often that we do that. And that's that negative bias that we've talked about, where we're trained to look for the worst so that we can have that survival mechanism within ourselves. And that's how we got ourselves to this place, right, that we are in our lives, is that throughout history, looking for the worst case scenario has helped us to survive. We now know that that is not beneficial. And the people who are able to see themselves at the top of whatever field it is, those are the people that are actually succeeding. So now it's flipped, and we have to make that conscious switch in our minds to being that positive person, to seeing ourselves in that light, because that's what's going to get us through, right? We're not going to be motivated all the time. We're not going to feel like doing the things we need to do to get us where we want to be all the time. So we have to be able to visualize ourselves already there and having succeeded to be able to make that. So take a little time, if you can, today, just to pause and visualize one of those things on our wheel that we did yesterday. Maybe one of the things that you have the biggest indention in your wheel, the thing you need to work on the most, and visualize what your 10 looks like. What does that look like for you? If it's fitness that you're feeling you need the most improvement on, what does your best self look like? What does your most healthy self look like? What does it look like to go into summertime just feeling amazing about yourself, having energy all day long, having too much energy that you have to go exercise? Whatever it is for you, that's my visualization. That's what keeps me moving on a daily basis with my health. But maybe it's in your relationships, maybe it's in your career, but take the time today to just start to ponder what your 10 out of 10 looks like, and then notice how often you let yourself go down that road of negativity, and just pause and just notice today, because that noticing is a big first step on making the change in your life. And then tomorrow we're going to actually visualize our very best self in whatever area that is for you. So think about what that is for you, where you need the most improvement, and then notice your behavior today so that we can start to make improvements on that. I love you guys. Have an amazing day.